Jay Thorpe, Flexwork Fitness. Just got a little bit of time after my run. Figured I'd answer this question real quick for you. So a few people had asked me, how do you get into the fitness industry as a personal trainer, more specifically? How do you become a personal trainer? Really, it's pretty straightforward. I'll kind of outline the steps that I did and kind of the, I guess, pitfalls you could say to try and avoid whenever you try to get into it, because there's a lot of gray area to it. Like, it's not black and white becoming a trainer. Like, there's so many different accrediting bodies that you can go through, so many factors that kind of go into it. So for me, I first got into personal training when I was 20. So I actually wasn't a certified personal trainer when I first started teaching people. The reason is, in Pennsylvania, I don't know if it's still like this now, but you had to be 21, and you also there's no law that says you actually have to be certified to personally train to make money off of it. It's really going to depend, varying on whatever state you're in. Like, I think like California, I think you have to have a national certification for you to actually legally be able to teach there. So step one, I would say, for getting into the industry is, it's pretty obvious, get in shape. I mean, if you're not in shape, automatically you lose credibility. And what I mean by in shape is, I don't mean you don't have to look like a Greek god on the stage or anything like that, but you want to make sure that you are, first of all, a healthy BMI. Not only a healthy BMI, but you want to make sure that you're able to demonstrate a lot of the exercises, which it's going to be different if, say, you're working with really high professional athletes who are doing movements that the average person couldn't do. In that case, I mean, you can kind of show them a video, but you should know how to perform that move safely. And it's easier to kind of describe sensations when you're training somebody if you've actually done those movements before. So yeah, step one, get in shape. I mean, nobody wants to work out with somebody who can't even demonstrate the exercises. Step two, get your certification. So here's where it kind of gets a little tricky. There's probably like 50 different accrediting bodies, if not more than that, that you can get a personal training certification through. Few of them are nationally recognized. Now, this is the important thing. The ones that are nationally recognized, whenever you start to personally train on your own, whether you build your own business or you're working with a gym, first of all, a gym's not going to hire you if you have like a lackluster credentials. If you have something where you kind of like go online, sign up, and it's like, woo, you're a personal trainer, they're not really going to hire people based off of those. And also, insurance companies won't cover you unless you have a nationally accredited one. So I'm going to go over 5 of them. So one, I definitely don't recommend. 2 of these I've experienced and went through. One is one that a lot of my personal training buddies use or have used to get certified. So the first one is NSCA. So I haven't used that one, but from what I hear from a lot of people in the industry, that's kind of one of the top tier personal training programs to go through. What I have is National Academy of Sports Medicine, which is NASM. That one was really good. I went through ACE. I actually didn't do the testing for it, at least not yet. But ACE was amazing as well. And then there's the one that a lot of my buddies use, which is ISSA. He said, I haven't witnessed that one firsthand. I don't know if it's nationally accredited. I would imagine it is if so many people are using it. And the last one that I used, or that I went through whenever I used to work for a gym, Planet Fitness, I was their fitness instructor. They had me get this certification called IFA, which I think is International Fitness Association. Complete garbage. Do not even consider getting that one. It took me literally 5 minutes. $120 later, I was a certified personal trainer, which is kind of scary that that's all they require, because it didn't teach you anything about performing exercises safely. Nothing about performing the exercise safely. It really just went over like how to structure a group instruction class, which you want to make sure that you know how to give them safe and effective programs. which is really the definition of a personal trainer. A personal trainer is somebody who prescribes safe, effective exercise programs to healthy individuals without medical restrictions. So it's very important that you work within something called your scope of practice for a few reasons. One, it's illegal. That's the main thing. You can't be telling people how to rehabilitate stuff unless you have the credentials for that, unless you are a physical therapist or a medical exercise specialist. You shouldn't be rehabilitating people, which is kind of something that, not the rehabilitation aspect, but working in my scope of practice was something that I didn't follow to a T when I first started. And that's just because when a lot of people get certified, they kind of have like egos up to here and they think that they can kind of remedy everything. But it's really important that you refer out, especially if it's something that you don't have the credentials to work with. You want to make sure you refer out. And it doesn't make you look weak or anything as a trainer. Actually, people will respect you for doing that because you have the client's best interests in mind. So whenever you go through these certifying bodies, they're going to teach you about your scope of practice, tell you what you should be doing, and kind of tell you when to refer out. Now, with these personal training certs, they are very, very general. So what I mean by that is they teach you kind of like the bare foundation of personal training. So this is going to bring me to the third thing whenever you're becoming a personal trainer. Make sure that once you get your certification, like, ooh, you got your cert, make sure that you are continuing your education. So this can go in a few different forms. What I did was I actually shadowed under another trainer. So shadowing under another trainer enabled me to kind of dig into like the years of experience this person had, and he kind of let me know how to dodge a lot of landmines, I guess you could say, that you'll encounter, because I don't know if I haven't been doing it long enough, but I noticed that nothing's routine. like each week I come across stuff that I've never handled before, types of clients that I've never worked with before, and having that mentor really helped a lot. And then make sure you're just doing a lot more self-study. So this can come in the form of you researching on your own, or you can take like specialization courses. So with these specialty courses, that's going to enable you to kind of get a little bit more into a niche market. So like I said, with the personal training courses, they're very watered down. They teach you the bare bones. They teach you anatomy, teach you kinesiology, teach you a little bit of nutrition, even though you can't practice nutrition, which I thought was a little weird. You can give like general like USDA guidelines, or I'm sorry, the USAFood.gov, the Choose My Plate. It used to be the food pyramid. You can really only give those kind of recommendations. I'm certified in nutrition, so I'm able to actually work a little bit more in depth on that level. But they'll teach you the nutrition. They'll teach you about the energy pathways, which is really important. That was kind of one thing where I was like, why am I learning this? And then when I started to work with more performance-based clients, I was like, oh my God, this is so important. Like if I didn't know this, it would be crazy. I wouldn't be able to get them to the maximal potential. What else do you learn in there? And anatomy. I don't think I said anatomy. I don't think I said it yet, but yeah, so anatomy, and that's one of the main things, just learning how the body works and how the body responds to training and all the mechanisms that kind of happen in the body. And with these personal training certs, the time it takes, I believe they give you up to 6 months before your test voucher expires. You can do it within 6 months. If you actually prioritize becoming a trainer, you can easily do that within 6 months. For me, I think it took me like 3 months, and I didn't even really dive into it that aggressively. I just kind of did like a chapter or two every week or so, and I've chiseled through it in 2-3 months. So time, maximum 6 months they give you. The price can vary widely. So I've seen prices from like $349 up to like $1,500. Now, this really depends on how much experience you already have in fitness. Like if you're somebody who goes to the gym regularly and you do a lot of self-study, like even if because YouTube and Google's a pretty powerful tool. I mean, it will teach you a lot on there. There's some stuff you kind of got to look out for, but it can teach you the essentials of personal training if you just go online and do it. You're not going to have that that credentialing though. Like, you won't have that paper saying you are certified, so you're still gonna have to go through the course. But if you're somebody who does a lot of self-study on your own and you've been kind of at it for a little bit, really you don't need to spend all that much, because you probably won't benefit more from buying all the bonus material. So for me, I think when I took the NASM, I just paid for the test voucher and the book, and there was like a guided study, like flashcards, things like that, and it was like an extra like $500, and I was like, I'm cheap, so I was like, nah. I was like, I'm good on that. I'm gonna pass. But if you're somebody who's like brand new to it, you can benefit from using all those extra tools. I mean, that might be in your best interest to purchase those. And a lot of these programs, they'll let you do different like payment plans. Like, you can do like a monthly payment plan for those. I wouldn't really say, in my opinion, one's more prestigious than the others. I mean, like I said, I've only taken the two, and the ACE one was a little more geared towards the anatomy. I'll say that. Definitely taught me a little bit more about anatomy. But the only main difference that I seen between the two was just their training models, which really I don't follow the training models to a T anyways, because again, they're very watered down, and what I specialize in requires a little different of an approach. So I would say, as long as it's nationally recognized, make sure you get that. So with the we said post program, you're doing your self-study, you found a mentor or something. The last part of the equation is marketing. You got to learn how to market yourself as a personal trainer. You can have the most knowledge in the world, but if people don't know about your services, it's not gonna benefit you. You're not gonna make no money because you're not having clients. So there's different ways of doing that. I can do a whole video on that, honestly. But for myself, I was that annoying kid who would actually go into different gyms, and I would offer to train people for free, which is a very valuable way to go about it. I would recommend doing that. Make sure you can solicit at that gym, which I did. I made sure I was able to go into the gym and market my services. But I was that annoying kid going up to people, like, correcting their form. Like, I go up to like the biggest guy, like take the cable out of his hand, and I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to do it this way. Like I know everything. I'm certified now. You're supposed to do it this way. Obviously that backfired a lot of the times, but when you go into some of these like big box gyms like LA Fitness, for example, a lot of the people that go there and work out, they really don't know what they're doing. So you doing it in a casually nice way, correcting somebody's form, can segue into you letting them know, hey, like, I am a personal trainer, because a lot of them are receptive to it. They're like, hey, thanks, like, I didn't know I was doing something unsafe. And they said you can kind of tell them about your services, and I've acquired a lot of clients that way. When I actually was the fitness instructor at Planet Fitness, when I left there to start the FlexWork Fitness, so many of my clients that I had there actually left that gym to come and train with me, because I had kind of built up that rapport with them. They seen, like, I built a lot of credibility. I was taking people who were like 300 pounds, getting them down to 150. Not that I'm like bragging or anything, but if you have their best interest in mind and you do a good job, like, the business will come to you if you put yourself on the forefront. And also with that continuing education, really one of the most important things that they don't really teach you in the books is learning people skills. Like, you are in the industry of working with people. Like, if you are a Debbie Downer and you're training with people, they're not going to want to train with you. I mean, I'm not going to train with somebody who's negative. I want somebody who's going to be positive and uplifting. And with all the different personality types, you need to know how to really talk to people. And that was one of the things that I had to learn, and that kind of skyrocketed my business. Which, I mean, it just makes sense, because a lot of people who take my personal training, they actually don't want to. Like, it's because their physicians telling them, like, hey, they need to start being more active. Like, they really didn't have the desire to come there other than those reasons, like the medical reasons. So I try my best to be positive, uplifting. like if you're negative, it just makes it harder for them. And then it also, for yourself, it makes it less enjoyable for you as well, because you're like, you come in there with a negative mind frame. Hopefully that helped. Like I said, it's kind of cut and dry, but if you kind of go about it just looking online, it can be confusing to get into the industry. If you guys have any more questions, though, feel free to leave a comment down, like, subscribe, and let me know, and I'll answer as best I can. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye.